This is my dad's string trimmer. It's a Husqvarna 224L. This is a 4-cycle string trimmer. Now, over the years, my dad has bought, I don't know how many weed whackers, string trimmers, whatever you want to call them. You know, they don't last all that long when you buy the cheap ones, which is what my family used to do with these. And they would just, you know, break, shit the bed, everything in between. So my dad decided to buy this one. This is a higher end model. I believe these retailed for around 300 bucks, if not probably a little higher. And I don't know when my dad bought this, but I know he's had it for a bit. And I think he's only used it a few times, but there's actually some stuff I got to do around here that involves the need for a string trimmer. So I figured I'd go ahead and get this one going, and hopefully there's really nothing wrong with it. It's just been sitting for a while, so I'm sure the fuel needs to be drained. Oh yeah, it's nice and yellow. Smells bad too. I'll go ahead and drain all the gas out. But I'm just going to give this thing a good hard look over before I start it and put some fresh fuel in it, and hopefully we can get her going. So we'll go ahead and dump all the old fuel out. Just pulled the cap off so it won't get in the way. Oh yeah, that stuff is bad. Well, it's all out now. Go ahead and stick this in the sun so it all evaporates. So the first thing I'm going to do with this is pull this top cover off and pull the plug out of the tool. And then I'm actually curious, because I don't know, you know, how old this is, or, you know, what kind of shape the plug's in. I'm actually curious to see the plug and, you know, see if it needs to be cleaned off or not. And I'm going to go ahead and pull the air filter cover off. And we have that. Air filter appears to be in decent shape. A little bit of fuel on it, but that's okay. Set that aside. And we'll go ahead and pull our cover off and down. Everything looks good here. Now we just need to pull the boot off. And we'll have a quick look at the spark plug. Gotta love these shitty sockets. It's got an NGK plug in it, that's cool. The plug looks really good. Better view of the plug. It's really clean. So I'll go ahead and throw this right back in. Throw the boot back on. There you have that. So now I'm just going to look over the rest of the motor here. Now, being that this string trimmer is 4-stroke, it has oil in it. So we'll go ahead and pull the stick out and see how much oil is in it. Looks more than fine. Don't even really need the stick because it's coming all the way up to the edge of the threads there. There's probably a little more oil in there than there should be, but bottom of the thread, top of the threads, it doesn't really make a whole hell of a lot of difference. Now, one other area where small motors like this, mainly 2-cycle, but this 4-stroke stuff is kind of similar, at least as far as the sizing goes, is you want to look over the inside of the carb to see if there's any gum or gunge in there. And if there is, you can sort it out before you put everything back together. So we'll go ahead and look at that. Everything looks really clean in there, so I'm not going to worry about the carburetor unless this thing gives me starting issues. So let's go ahead and throw her all up back together. I should also mention that I looked at the spark arrestor too on the muffler. Looks fine. Perfectly clean. Doesn't need to be too tight. Now just to throw the air filter back on. I really like Husqvarna's stuff. They make really good tools. Put that back in place. And I think we're good to go. But before I go any further, I'm actually going to wipe off the exterior of the motor, and then we'll throw some gas in her, see what happens, and if we can get her to fire off, I'll give you guys a demo of some weed whacking. So now I'm about to put some fuel in it. And since I don't know if anybody's going to use this thing again after I hopefully use it today, I'm actually going to throw a little bit of fuel stabilizer into the gas tank. This stuff is always really good to put in your garden tools, and I'm only going to put in just that much, hardly any. You don't need a whole lot. That's more than enough. So what this will stop it from doing, especially after I hopefully run it a while, and it gets, brought into the primer bulb and through the carburetor, is it'll stop it from being gummed up the next time somebody wants to use it. So let's see if she'll give us a start. Run the carb a few times. And we'll go half choke. Oh wow! It runs smooth. I love Husqvarna's products, boys. I really do. Let's let it warm up for a minute, and then we'll bring her outside and get to work. Little thing runs pretty damn good. I think the carburetor either does need to be cleaned or needs to be adjusted, because it's running, it'll only run with the choke 3/4 of the way off. It still needs to be on just a little bit, or else too much air and it dies out. So something needs to be looked at with that. But other than that, definitely happy with these results. Now, no, it doesn't look perfect. but it looks better than it did. And out here, that's all that matters, because this isn't a yard or anything like that. This is just, you know, a walkway, and it doesn't really need to look nice. It just needs to be functional and not have a bunch of overgrowth all over the place. So now I'm going to go grab my electric blower and finish off this by cleaning everything off. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to try and keep on getting you guys some small engine stuff here and there. But it's not the easiest thing to do right at the moment, but it's never really stopped me before. At the most, it's just slowed me down. So you guys stay tuned for more. You all stay classy.